Hey guys, this is Alex 2.0, and this is the review people have been waiting for me to do. Tusk, Kevin Smith's new film that came out this past weekend. I saw it a few days ago, and one of the reasons why I didn't review it right after I saw it is because it's just one of those movies where you kind of have to let the whole movie sink in your head before even talking about it in full detail. Because I don't know, man. I was kind of back and forth of what I thought about this movie. At the end of the day, I have to say, it's both good and it's both just out of control and kind of a bad way. Because there's plenty of positives and there's plenty of negatives to this movie. But one of the biggest things that bothered me about the movie is just I don't want to give too much away because this review is gonna be a minor spoiler review because I do have to talk about a few important things that are kind of spoilers, but I don't want to give too much away anyway. But yeah, I mean, pretty much the whole third act, it's just fucking uncomfortable to sit through. Even though I kind of knew what was going to happen. I mean, it's no secret. I mean, this is not really giving anything away, but pretty much, Justin Long, who is the main character of the film, gets turned into a walrus, and yeah, I knew that was gonna happen, but at the same time, when you actually see it, it's just like, well, for me, I'm just like, ugh, ugh, and I don't know. I will say that the build up to the reveal, I won't really go into specific detail on how he ends up looking like, but I like the build up. Kevin Smith, he did a good job slowly building up to the reveal. But once you get to the reveal, you have the reaction, however you want to react. But my reaction was kind of like, oh, and I was just full of, I was just uncomfortable throughout the rest of the film. But I know I'm kind of going all over the place, but pretty much, the story's about, Justin Long plays this podcaster. Him and his friend, played by Haley Joel Osment, who, everyone knows for The Sixth Sense. They're just, all they do is pretty much, interview weird people, find weird people on the internet, and just kind of, don't take them seriously. It's just kind of all fun and games for them. Because in the movie, they interview with some guy who accidentally cut his leg off trying to imitate Kill Bill, which the way they did it was like kind of a parodying the Star Wars kid. You've seen the YouTube video where this kid has like the fake lightsaber and then he's just like messing around. It's kind of like that, but with the actual samurai sword, and he actually cuts his leg off, and it's on YouTube. They're making fun of him and they want to interview him, and then Justin Long, he goes to Canada and to interview this kid, but things don't go according to plan, so he has no interview until he sees a posting of a letter in the bathroom stall from some old guy, and the old guy happens to be Michael Parks. But he's an old man who lived an incredible life, who wants to be interviewed, and Justin Long calls him up. He has the phone numbers in the paper. He calls him up, and they agree to do an interview for the podcast. Justin Long eventually finds the guy's home, Michael Parks, and they talk for like a while. And pretty much like the entire first act of the movie, I did like, the development of the characters. the introduction to Michael Parks. It was a interesting character. At first, he talks about how he was in World War II and how he just almost got killed. And I won't go into. There's more to his character as well later in the film. I don't want to give it away, but which is the reason kind of why he does the things he does. Um, but yeah, and they're talking, and then Michael Parks brings up a walrus. He has a fascination with walruses. He keeps like pretty much he says like it's a not a sculpture, but kind of like a fossil like. It's actually the real thing, and he says, "Oh, it's actually the bone of the walrus penis." He keeps that, and he has like a bunch of I believe like I think pictures of himself, and he's just a weird kind of creepy guy, but he's fascinating at the same time, and so yeah, I mean like, and then him and Justin Long are drinking tea, and then Justin Long gets knocked out from the tea, and he wakes up and he realizes that he's pretty much a kidnapper. Michael Parks is a kidnapper, and he has no intentions of setting him free. I will say like there are like bits and pieces in the beginning where Justin Long is going to heading to Canada. He's at the airport. There's some really funny humor between him and the guy who works at the airport. You get some of that Kenneth Smith dialogue early on, more so than you did in Red State. Even though I would say that I enjoyed Red State a lot better than this movie. But like there's a joke about the Canadian flag and why it's better than the American flag. And I don't want to give, but it's really funny. It's a really funny joke about the colors and shit. But yeah, I mean, Michael Parks, he knocks out Justin Long, and Justin Long, he realizes the situation. He knows he's kind of screwed, and that's where you get into. There's a subplot between his girlfriend, played by Genesis Rodriguez, and his friend Haley Joel Osment, which I felt was kind of pointless to the film. I think that's where when you go back to them, that's when I feel the film was going downhill for me. And it does drag on their scenes. I don't know. I mean, that's also wow. Justin Long is he finds his phone, and he's trying to call them up, and I don't want to give too much away, but at that it okay. If you see the movie, you'll kind of know. If you see the movie, you'll know that the way it plays out, it kind of doesn't make any sense. Why he even has a chance to call them up on his cell phone. But I don't know. That was about that point in the film that like I said before, that's where he starts going downhill, and then and then you have more scenes with Michael Parks and Justin Long. He reveals some of his backstory. I don't want to give it too much away, and why he has a fascination with walruses. And there you go to the point of the film where Justin Long turns into a walrus, and like I kind of had no idea how it would look, but when I actually when it's revealed, I already mentioned this, but I just like it was kind of like whoa, and then just how the scenes play out with him later, and by the end of the film, it just I don't know, I was just so weirded out and just felt so uncomfortable in a bad way. Like what the fuck is going on? Uh, but his girlfriend and his friend Haley Joel Osment, they're trying to look for him, and then eventually it goes to an introduction to a character, a detective of some sort, played by a famous actor. I won't give away who it is, but I recognized him when I first saw it because I already knew he was gonna be in the movie. But he goes into detail about he's been looking for this guy who's been Michael Price has been doing this for who knows how long, and then he reveals the character detective reveals that he's bumped into him before he even realized he didn't realize that he was the killer he was looking for. But and then they show a flashback scene from 2 years prior, how he saw him, and the tone was completely different from the rest of the film. It didn't make any sense. It went on for too fucking long. It dragged on. And yeah, I mean, like, the second half of the film has pacing issues up the ass. Like I said, like the subplot with the girlfriend and this detective. He has scenes. They could be. I thought they would have been good if they didn't go on for so long, and they went on for too long. I just felt like a different film. That's one big issue, but that's all in the third act, by the way. The detective, the pacing issues, the walrus scenes. I mean, it wasn't like I was disgusted. I mean, it is disgusting, but I wasn't. It wasn't that kind of reaction. It was just like uncomfortableness, and then I don't want to give away the ending, but I just felt it was kind of, it was kind of like just rushed into the ending. I mean, it drags on for so long. The beginning of the third act drags on so much with this detective and the subplot, and the flashback, like you mentioned, and then all of a sudden you just rush to the ending, and then you have your climax and your final scene, which I thought was fucking retarded. I don't want to get, it's like, I want to say what it is, what happens at the final scene, but that'll be just, a major spoiler, but I'll say this, what happens at the very end is complete bullshit. It's contradictory to what the the girlfriend feels. All I'll say is, she's kind of a shitty person for doing what she does at the end. In my opinion, I mean, why would you even do that if you care so much? I'll say that. And damn. And then there's I will say that out of the positives, I say the first half of the film was actually pretty. It was good. It was good, and the acting's good. I have no issues with the acting. Michael Parks is creepy as fuck. I liked his performance in Red State better. I like Kevin Smith films. I can't compare his comedies to this. I would just compare it to Red State because it's the closest thing to compare it. It's a more fair comparison. I say Red State is a lot fucking better. The acting is both in both films, but I'll say that Red State was it had a more interesting story. I like the way the pace was better. The tone was more consistent. The climax was a lot. It didn't drag, and I liked the way everything was resolved at the end in Red State. This film, it was kind of a mess by the third act, like I said. I don't know. I mean, it's like Kevin Smith. Um, he wanted to make something weird and out there, which is fine, but I felt he kind of just like uh, everything went over his head. I guess I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but this movie fucked my head over. But yeah, I mean, this was. I mean, once the movie's over, and there's a weird moment during the credits where you actually hear Kevin Smith and Scott Mosier, who teamed up again. They haven't done a movie together since Zack Mirror Making Porno, which is actually kind of disappointing because, I mean, the Kevin Smith makes a few films without Scott Mosier, and I thought, it'll be cool if they teamed up and did a great movie again. But that wasn't the case, in my opinion. Was this movie bad? No, but there was too much bad in it. Too many negatives for the film. I kind of went off topic there, but I was trying to say that you hear the voices in the credits, and it's actually a clip of the Smodcast, the podcast that Kevin Smith does, talking about the movie. I think. I know it's weird. It's like, why would you even put that in the film? And then there's an end credit scene with the character detective, which I actually thought was funny, which I actually thought was the best moment with that character because it was actually really just short. Like I said, and I think the reason why the scenes with that character dragged on for so long is because Kevin Smith let the actor, this famous actor, just fucking chew the scenery, just go on forever without saying cut. Pretty much he was kissing his ass. I think it shows in the film. It's like cut those scenes in half, Kevin. It drags the movie. But like I said, the performances were good. First half of the movie, the introduction to all the characters, was good. There are some scenes that are creepy. I love pretty much the entire scene where Michael Parks and Justin Long first meet each other and they're just talking. That's why Kevin Smith always shines at dialogue between characters. It's in the film, but once you get to Michael Parks, his main goal, pretty much turning Justin Long into a walrus. That's where the movie failed at. I mean, he does, it happens and it made me feel uncomfortable, and then everything else just dragged on. It just wasn't clicking anymore. I got on for a long time now, but I don't think I'm ever going to see this movie again, to be honest. But does that mean it's horrible? No, it's not. It's not Kevin Smith's worst, I'll say. It's at least better than fucking Cop Out and Jersey Girl. But he's one of his most, I mean, by far his weirdest film. Just for the premise alone. But yeah, I mentioned the positive, the acting, the first half, the comedy bits in the beginning, the whole scene with Michael Parks and just talking to each other, and then the subplots, the dragging the scenes all along with the new character of the detective. All the scenes with Justin Long as a walrus, it was unpleasant to watch in a bad way. And the ending was when I say the climax was rushed and the ending was complete bullshit. I fucking hated the ending. I'd rather watch Rest Day any day. That movie got a lot of hate. This one is getting hate too, but Rest Day, I don't understand why they got hate. That movie worked for me. This one, half of it worked, half of it didn't. It's a mixed bag, and I understand why people would hate it. But yeah, I mean, hopefully Kevin Smith does a better job. I mean, it's, like I said, I'm gonna try to wrap this up because I've gone for so long with this movie, even without spoiling the whole thing. But hopefully Kevin Smith does a better job, and there was some signs of still major talent in the film, but it just went downhill after the first half of the movie. But so yeah, I mean, Tusk wasn't that good of a movie, and let's see what Kevin Smith does next. Which is gonna be from what I heard, it's gonna be a spin-off of this film, which I don't know. Hopefully it's not as bizarre, and hopefully it's more consistent. But I don't know. Only time will tell. But thanks for watching. If I don't know what else to say about this movie, but I didn't like it that much. Too freaky for me. Too freaky. But thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed my thoughts on it. It is a really hard film to talk about. It's just so out there. But so yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching. Adios.